what your life like. Try to live the life right. People really know you push your buttons like.
What's good, everybody? This is JT.
This is Cesar.
This is Yatish. And this is Kenny.
And you're tuning in for episode 10 of Dink or Swim.
Dink or Swim. So we got a special guest here today. My boy Kenny.
Oh, it's me. Okay.
Yeah, Yatish was on last week. Shout out to you. Thanks for hopping on again.
Not as special.
Still special, but yeah, not as special. But Kenny, you're here.
Yes, I am.
How you doing?
Good. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
I'm excited to be here.
Got some good energy, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to hear a little bit about yourself. Like what's your background? How did you get into this room?
Mm-hmm.
What are you about?
Yeah, well, I grew up here in San Jose, South San Jose. Got into pickleball through like my mom, and I had like sports background, like played a lot of baseball, like basketball, all the sports camps, growing up. I did play tennis for maybe 2 lessons, and then I gave up right away. And it's like hindsight's 2020, where I was like, man, I wish I went through that, but
How long ago was that?
that was when I was like 7.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
learning how to hit a forehand, and I was terrible at it.
You're just like, nah, I can't do this. I'm done.
Yeah, like, yeah, this is not for me. And then, but yeah, picked it up around like COVID time.
Oh,
And,
okay.
yeah, my mom like invited me out to her group out in Sunnyvale.
Mhm.
So we played like once a week, and then it was all right. It was fun.
Was this like COVID, like lockdown 2020,
It was like 2021.
like when everything was kind of
It was kind of open up and
Yeah.
playing. Everybody's out. So yeah, then I just kind of played, and we went to Hawaii. My mom's from Hawaii, grew up there,
Nice.
so we always go out there for like summers and Christmas and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Went out there, we played at the Diamond Head courts, and
Okay.
it's a good vibe out there. So that got me hooked.
Was this recent or that was like kind of
That was
during
like
time?
2021.
Okay.
And then when I came back, I was like, all right, I'm buying a paddle.
I'm locked in.
buying shoes. Like, I'm buying all the right stuff. I'm
Yeah.
into it. And I just, kept playing, and
So so during that time, right, 2021, you played, you went to Hawaii, you came back. Did you like right then and there, boom, full commit, or did it take you a while? Like, how did that happen?
I kind of just kept playing. I wasn't like thinking really of like anything. I was like, I just want to keep playing. There's like cool people like to hang out with, and there's always somebody to like play with.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool, because at the time I was working remote, and like you don't see anybody. You like talk to like your roommates, for like 5 minutes, and then like they go back. So it was like just nice to be around like people and
Yeah.
like, play. So
Okay.
it was just a time to like get out there and play, and then I got like sports, so I was like, oh, this is fun and improving. So yeah.
What since you do have like a pretty hefty sports background,
Mhm.
which sport do you feel like helped the most when you picked up pickleball? Because I know you have tennis. You played basketball, right, JT?
Yeah, basketball and volleyball. Yeah, so.
Okay. So for you, Kenny, what do you think? Which sport like helped you the most?
So I think it's like a mix of baseball and golf.
Golf.
Yeah, so like golf I think is big, because like you're all about your hips, so you're all about like mechanics. So
That
like
hip turn.
yeah,
hip
so if
turn.
you can like learn how to just like flow through it, and then
Yeah.
it's like you can like pure like drive like 300 yards.
Ah.
So like me being like short and like not really big, and I'm like piping it down the fairway, they're like, whoa, this guy can like drive the ball.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's all right.
Dude, okay. So how long have you been playing golf for?
I played a lot in high school. I was on the varsity team for a bit.
Okay.
It was like 4 years. We were like okay in terms of like our school standings and whatnot. I went to Valley Christian, so we were like always kind of last behind like Bellarmine and like Mitty and Sarah and stuff.
Yeah.
And, we were all right. And I wasn't the best, but like I was hanging in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I would like out of all the sports, I never would have thought golf. I don't know. Have you guys ever played golf? I'm terrible. That's still one sport I just cannot figure out. I don't know what it is. It's like the micro adjustments that make the huge differences in your game.
Yeah.
Follow through and rotation. I've noticed, a lot of the accuracy when you're doing your drops and drives. You kind of coordinate that from golf into pickleball, right?
Yeah.
Like the rotation, the follow through in
Yeah.
golf. Yeah, so
Definitely.
translates over to pickleball.
Yatish,
Now I'm actually seeing it.
You ever play
Makes
golf?
sense.
Or?
Yeah, I suck.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not happening.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's too small of a target, honestly.
And it's not moving, right?
It's, it's not moving, which is like the worst part about it.
I could do it, you know? Walk
Like
right
overcompensate.
Yeah.
There was this one time because one of my best friends, he's like a really good golfer, and he has that, like, you know, those nets at the where you can put it in your house and
Oh,
you just
yeah.
drive into those nets, right, like in your
Mhm.
backyard. And he had it, and perpendicular to the net there was his glass window, and I am aiming straight into the net, and then the ball goes like exactly to the right and blows a hole through his rear or his back window. And my buddy was like, not crying, but he was just like, man, my dad's gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And I called his dad to just apologize. I was like, hey, Mr. Ralph, I'm sorry, like I broke your window. And he was like, he just laughed, and he was like, how do you suck that bad? The ball goes straight to the right and not straight when you're trying to hit it. Yeah, it's not.
That sounds like a funny story. How long ago was this?
Yesterday.
No. It was like high school, maybe like 8 years ago. But the windows, like my friend's dad hasn't replaced the window.
So there's like a hole?
It's a memory. Yeah.
Okay.
Patched up with some cardboard.
Okay. I mean, gets the job done, I guess.
It's actually in Sunnyvale too, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Teach was you.
Yeah. It's your landmark right there.
Yeah.
And then baseball.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Obviously, so golf, you have like that hip rotation, right? The precision.
Yeah.
Baseball.
I
Like
think
what?
for baseball, it's kind of like that twitch, kind of like reaction time. So it's like, sure, there's stagnant stuff, but you're like waiting for the batter to hit. So like, you all have like set play. So I played second. So like, you have set play. So if the ball is like going like this way, then it's like you cover like some parts going here. If there's like a runner on, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
if it's hit to the left side of the field, second's got to cover second.
Yeah.
Or like, you know.
Coordination, right?
Coordination.
Yeah.
It's like,
Shifting and everything.
which is like having like being prepared, because that also like helps in pickleball. It's like if you know you're gonna hit a high dink this like to your right, it's like gonna come back at you, so you can kind of just like stay there and like just turn and rip it. I do that. It feels great when I do that. But
So
it
it's like
connects.
this anticipation type
Yeah,
thing.
so it kind of helps with that. I've noticed. So yeah.
That's cool. All right. And the unique thing about you that we really haven't had on this show so far is you play for a lot longer than we have. I think the longest tenure we have so far on the show has been like a year and a half, maybe.
Okay.
If that, you've been what? You're coming on like 3
about like 2 years, 2.5, I think. I think I started like summer 2021. It's like when I like started going like every week and almost 3 times a week.
So you caught it like as it's
as
it blew up, and it's still blowing up to this day. But you caught it on the rise. What do you think's like the biggest difference from then to now?
Just the craze. Like everybody here is like knows about pickleball. Like now. And I heard like on this other podcast, like I don't know if you guys feel this way, but when you guys came out, did it feel like welcoming?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean for me at least at the hub,
Okay. Yeah, because I think somebody was talking about it, mentioning like, so they have like the cohort from like when I started, it's like that couple of years, and then like those people like have all gotten like better.
Yeah.
And then like maybe they haven't matured in like, you know, personality wise, but you know they matured in their game and stuff. So maybe they're not as like inviting. So I was just wondering if like,
so you're saying the opposite. So you're saying people, the other podcast is saying it's not as welcoming right now.
Yeah, that they were kind of mentioning that, so I was like, huh, that's a weird take, because I always thought of it as like new people when they do come in like at the hub or whatnot, they like seem pretty like they always want to come back and they're like, oh yeah, like I heard everything about it, but I don't know if you.
What do you think? Yatish as a new player, like or a newer player?
I think you know, clicks are bound to happen in in any walk of life, right? Like you're always gonna have people who stay to themselves and have their group and don't want to include others. But I think there's a lot of welcoming people too. So yeah, I've noticed sometimes when I'm at the hub, like there's people who look at you, don't ask you if you want to play, and then just play themselves, you know? Or like if they see a paddle there, but then they want to play with their homies, so they'll go put their paddle somewhere else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
The paddle move.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Let me
I'm
grab
like,
that real
"Oh,
quick."
You don't want to play with me?
Look at you. Nope.
It's your chance to play with a lefty, you know?
Yeah.
But then there's other times where people are just like, dude, hop on, you know?
Yeah.
So
Mixed
it's-
bag.
Yeah, it's mixed bag.
And I think I feel like if you're gonna go to a facility like, or even outdoors, and you're going with a group of people, you probably want to play with your friends, you know, for at least in the beginning, right, before you move on and start doing other things. At least if you're new. Whereas, like, if you're like a senior player, or if you have a tennis background or whatever, it's a little bit easier for you to hop on a court by yourself with randoms and just kind of hop in the game, right? So I think there's a little bit of that element to it.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I didn't think, you know.
Yeah, it was a weird, or just like a different question to kind of think about. I don't know if it's any different, but
I'd imagine at the very least, like if you're competitive, you'd want to go in there and kick everyone's ass that goes there. You know, like at least try to. You know, just
Is that what?
sometimes that's what I'm like. I'm like
do one thing.
obviously like I accept losing and stuff. You know, like I'm happy to lose and just play.
Yeah.
But when I walk into the hub, I'm just like thinking, who can I beat today? You know, but like in a fun, positive, constructive way, not like
For sure.
this is gonna ruin my day if I lose to everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like these guys, JT and Huey, they kicked my ass last time.
But did you learn?
Yeah, I learned a lot.
Never losing, always learning, right?
I learned I actually need a backhand.
Good thing to learn. But yeah, going back to what we were talking about, so that portion of it, but what about all the new products that are coming out? There's you know, a lot of new gear, a lot of new companies that are creating paddles.
Yeah, I think when I was first starting, it was like the hot paddle was it's like the Selkirk Amped Epics. It was like the fiberglass. So that was like the top paddles, and then I don't know if you remember like the old Franklins. It's like the old Franklin Ben Johns.
Oh yeah.
It's like those were it. They used
Those like aren't even a thing anymore, right? Like, do they still make paddles?
Yeah, they've had fire sales for that, and they were selling it like at $50.
No way.
Yeah, but they're super good for like a month, and then all their grit like wears out. And so it's pretty funny. But I remember buying one for a tournament.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna play singles. I was like, oh, I think I need like a power paddle. So I was like, I'm gonna get a 14 millimeter, and then like I'll play with the Ben Johnson because you know he's really good at singles. I was like, I'm gonna be good at singles now.
Makes your game better.
Yeah.
just the title, not even
Just the belief. I'm like, yeah, watch out, everybody.
There you go. I'm him. Speaking of tournaments, I mean, you've been in a few yourself.
Yeah.
How many have you been a part of?
I think I want to say about like 10 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
10. JT, you were in one recently, or you're about to be in one?
Yeah, I played a tournament last Sunday. It was my first 4-0 plus tournament. Be honest, I looked around and I kind of discouraged myself a little bit. I was like, dude, these are like 5-0s, right? I was like, dude, I came, I'll be honest, I came with the mentality of I didn't want to let Huey down. So I kind of discouraged myself, and I felt like, you know, I wasn't necessarily ready, because it is important to play with your partner. So like consistently play with your partner to prepare. So I didn't want to let him down, especially it was a duper tournament. And then so the first game, so we actually went to the wrong bay club. Like we went to the wrong bay club.
Wait, how many are there? There's like 5, right?
Few, yeah.
Which one did you guys go to?
We went to the one that's like, I think South SF.
Burlingame.
Burlingame.
Oh,
Yeah,
Burlingame.
I don't know too much about SF. And then we had to drive all the way 30 minutes up to San Francisco.
I know what you're talking about.
Bro, I was excited, dude. It was indoors, and all of a sudden we're outdoors, and then I was scared it was gonna get windy, knowing how San Francisco is, right?
Yeah.
So we had to forfeit our first game. Then we came in.
Wait, because you were late?
Yeah, we were late. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
she said like she couldn't delay it was round robin, right? So
Yeah.
couldn't delay it. We lost I'll be honest, we lost 15-4 the first game to the team that ended up winning the whole tournament. Then we lost again 15-13, 15-13. Then we won 15-7, and then the tournament ended.
What'd you learn about that in that experience? Or what'd you learn in that experience?
Dude, like, well, when I first started doing tournaments, to be honest, like, you always want to get gold, right? Like gold or get some sort of medal, walk away.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I was happy. Like, to be honest, I was super happy because the mentality I came in with is like, I don't belong here. Like, these are like 5-0s, and then the more I played, each game there was progression. Each game I got better. I at least felt I got better each game, and I was like, I was talking to myself during the game. I was like, I belong. Like, I belong here. Like, I don't just, I'm not just playing. I actually,
We belong together.
like,
Right, Carrie?
I can hang with these people. I'm actually like, and it kind of inspired me to want to do more 4-0 tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, even win or lose,
Yeah.
the experience, like, it was valuable. Like, so some people say tournaments are expensive, but now I see why, like, you and Huey do a lot of tournaments, and I understand it now.
It's kind of like when you do like a half marathon, right? I've never done a tournament, but I would assume or imagine it's similar to doing like a half marathon, like just doing something that you want to compete for. Obviously, in a half marathon, you're competing against others, but you're also competing against yourself, right? And just working towards, that goal on a time limit, because there's a time limit, right? There's a time limit for that day in a tournament. There's a time limit for that day, and it ends that day or whenever that tournament ends. So I feel like just having that desire to push forward and do something and just turn on like another level of your game, another gear of your game is just like is amazing. But Yatish, I think you're about to join one too, right? Next week or
Yeah. Me and Huey are getting one on Saturday in Fresno.
So I want to get perspective on this, right? So you've been in several, right? You're about to be in one. I know you've competed a lot in tennis. What do you two think are keys to preparation for a tournament in pickleball specifically?
Well, I don't know about pickleball. Maybe you want to take that one.
So pickleball, I think, aside from like your mental game and like, playing wise, I think having like snacks and like a chair and all
Underrated.
the extra stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna like, it's a more of like attrition because you're just fighting against like time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't always be like on,
Yeah.
So like if you have like a spot to like sit, even have like somebody come with you, like just to like watch your stuff. That way you don't think about it. That's also really nice.
What's a good snack? What's your go-to snack for tournament snack?
I think it's like a chilled Snickers.
A chilled,
Snickers.
not room
Satisfies.
temperature.
For sure. Like,
Chilled.
it's just like, a little bump of like, chocolate and like sugar.
Yeah.
And then like just bananas,
Yeah.
those are great. And just like the electrolytes,
Okay.
you gotta have that. Like, you gotta think about it and just kind of keep loose. But my mentality going into like tournaments is like, all right, I've drilled and I've done all this like prep. I'm here to cause like a ruckus. Like if I don't win, I'm gonna like make sure I have like good games and like keep it competitive. Try my best. If I don't win, I don't win. But it's like you can kind of take that into like your practice because like okay, I remember this scenario from like this spot in the tournament, so it's like, all right, this is what I would do next, and then you kind of like practice that way.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of have this like rec games where you play, you kind of plateau. You're like, what's the next level until you do a tournament.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like these players are like all like playing at this level. Like okay, I can like learn from that and kind of like practice, and then you kind of like do like a cycle of like, all right, I can practice what I didn't do well, I did well, and so that's why I think tournaments are like great because it just kind of keeps you like in the game and like playing and like figuring out new things by yourself and
And then you mentioned like you would be drilling, obviously before.
Yeah.
What cadence would you have, or like what frequency would you have, and what would you specifically work on? I guess it depends, right, on where you're at. But for you specifically, like what do you remember?
Me,
Yeah.
So like 2021, I was working a remote job, and I had a lot of time where I could like just like sneak away. And then I had a friend that like had similar schedule, my friend Lauren. So we would like, you know, play or like drill on like Monday afternoons when like nobody was at like our courts at Palmore. So we like drill there for like, you know, maybe an hour or two, and then everybody would start to come in. So we did like a lot of that, and then like randomly during lunch, we'd just do like an hour or something, and then it would just be like, you know, just the regular drops, you know, trying to like work your way up to the kitchen, transition zone, dinks, and like that's where I kind of like learned how to do two-handed backhand. Was like, you know, from her, I was like, all right, you know, what's like the first two steps, because she had a, you know, good one. So I was like, all right, you know, what do I do?
Teach me.
Yeah, and I was like terrible at it. It took a while, but I've gotten to a comfortable place with it.
Yeah,
right now.
your 200 is
Yeah.
scary,
Yeah.
to say the least. Fearsome.
Yeah, but yeah. What do you have for the tournament prep? Because I want to hear on like that side.
And are you doing anything right now? Because it's next week, right? Or this Saturday?
Yeah, it's this Saturday. I think prep wise, I mean, I think going to the gym and taking care of your body, like taking care of all those like extremities that you have, like your external rotators for your like in your shoulder. Those are like, I think, overlooked muscles, because I remember just playing a lot of tennis and not training those tiny little muscles ruined my shoulder. So now that I'm taking care of that, I think my body is feeling good, which is number one. Secondly, maybe, I don't know, rub one out before your match so you, so you have a clear mind.
I was not expecting that. I was looking you eye to eye, and you said that with so much confidence.
Yeah, it's like Matthew McConaughey and Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, exactly. Do that right before. But all jokes aside, yeah, I would say your diet is probably like getting some carbs in before, maybe like dates or some pasta or something, and then
Yeah, I do that.
yeah, I think I think from the mental aspect, I don't know about pickleball because I haven't played a tournament yet.
Yeah.
But and I'm sure there'll be nerves for me. But I think when you're playing a tournament, you're battling two opponents: the opponent in front of you and the opponent inside your head. That's telling you, like, you know, what you're saying, like you don't belong here, or like, you know, maybe you're not good enough for this. And I think that's where like your affirmations come in, and you got to just remind yourself, like, number one, you're here to just have a good time, compete, not be afraid of the outcome, you know, because there's a learning experience from both losing and winning. So I think reminding yourself that is important. And if you look at like some of the top players in the world, like in tennis, I don't know, I haven't seen too many live pickleball matches, but I've seen highlights of like Ben Johns. Like you can see them like in the point verbally saying things to themselves, you know, like, you fucking suck. No, but like, you're good, like you got this.
Yeah.
Like,
affirmations.
Yeah, affirmations, you know? So you can see them like verbally, like moving their lips and saying it. It's not just inside their head, like they're saying it.
Yeah.
And manifesting it. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually reading this book called The Confident Mind, and it talks about the mind-body connection and how when you say something in your head or even out loud, right? Yeah. And you put positive thoughts into your brain, it creates a actual chemical reaction in your body to where you're more loose and you're not as tight, and you're not contradicting your thoughts, and you're moving with more fluidity, you know. And I feel like that's 100% true. Like, I mean, you can attest to it.
And I'd imagine it has to be consistently throughout the match, because I think it can't just be at the beginning, you know, like because every point is a pressure point, you know, like you might be match point down, you might you know, be looking to close it out, and you have to continuously remind yourself those things.
For sure. Because it's like you said, it's like every single point matters. Yeah. And every single possession, every single rally can make or break. Yeah. You know, the end result, right? So I wanted to also ask then, you have a lot of experience, and it's interesting because I like what you said about, I want to come in and make a ruckus. I want to be loud. I want to make noise. I want to just, you know, make sure I'm heard kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But also more so for yourself, right? I'm imagining it's more so, hey, I'm just gonna do this and ball out and do my thing, and
Yeah.
win or lose, it's all good. But since you've kind of seen both ends, you've facilitated tournaments
Mm-hmm.
and you've been a part of them. Like, what do you think it takes for someone that is new jumping into this? What do you think they should really, really focus on jumping into a tournament? Outside of the regular drilling and you
Yeah.
know, all the,
Like a mental.
just
approach.
like mental approach, or even organizationally wise, like
Yeah.
eating wise. I know sometimes it's like back to back to back, right?
Yeah.
Should they plan out their day? Like, what do you think they should focus on?
Yeah, I think, starting from the night of, it's like trying to get a good like carb load meal. That definitely helps with like the longevity of the day. You don't have to worry about like cramps or trying to fuel yourself during. That's great. And even just like a good breakfast, like oatmeal and like fruits and stuff. Long lasting kind of energy, that's good. Even like spikes, like sugar or like maybe like a few sips of soda. I do that sometimes. Just to like, bubbles, tricks your brain. That's how I think of it. And then like the mentality thing is kind of just like, all right, like I can do this, that kind of thing, like belief. I'm a big fan of like Ted Lasso and like believing yourself.
Love that show.
Yeah, it's like
I binged it in like 3 days, the whole thing. It's amazing.
I've definitely multiple watched it, and it's just like it's so good. But that definitely has like a place for like prep in your tournaments, and then just like never giving up. Like you stay in it, don't give up on like any point. It's like I'm gonna be in it like the whole time and like keep going.
Do you have any lucky tournament gear?
Lucky tournament gear. I have like superstitions, or I do the paddle face paddle eraser. I just make
Right
sure
before?
it's the night before,
Okay.
so it's like all ready to go in the morning. Or I'll do like the clean, new grips.
You don't have like tournament underwear?
No. Well, actually, there's the favorites. You're like,
That's in the rotation.
Yeah. It's like, I like this shirt. And then, you look good, you feel good. It's like you play a little better.
Yeah.
Just, okay.
Haircut, day of? No, yes.
Yeah, the hair. I kind of like, I'm not really crazy on the hair. I'm just like, what I have is what I have.
Yeah.
I'll do a hat or a bandana or whatever, just to whatever I'm feeling. But that's usually it.
Do you play singles and doubles tournaments, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, singles. I started out with singles first because I was like, I played once. I was like, there's like a singles tournament in Monterey, so I was like, I'm down with that. And actually, that's actually how I met a good buddy of mine from the hub, Kyle Keating. We have like the same last name, so I thought it was like a typo.
It was fate.
Yeah, I was like, why are there two K Keatings in our bracket? I was like, great. And there's only like 4 people in the bracket. So I was like, great, I have to play like 2 people and that's it. But yeah, we ended up like going into the gold medal match, and like, but he was super cool. He's got a great mentality. Like, he tells you kind of your weakness, like his weakness, and he's like, just push my backhand. I have no backhand. And like people do it, and he's like, yep, I told you. That's like, you did it, and
Yeah,
you did it.
No, I got no backhand. That's what I did.
Target is backhand, bro.
Yeah.
I was like,
But he's
I'm
like,
that's true.
yeah.
Folks in Fresno, I hope you're not watching.
I won't release by then, but I think you're safe.
Yeah, I think you're good. And then, do you have any tournaments coming up, or what's going on for you?
So yeah, I have one coming up in September. There's a Moneyball tournament at the Craneway facility.
Nice.
So I'm playing with my buddy Lauren that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna do mixed. I think we're doing 4-0, and it's like $600.
Nice.
So that's kind of like pretty nice. And then I think I'm doing another one with her in Concord. I think that's in October, and then it's nationals, and I'm planning to play one with Huey before nationals. I think we're gonna try to play one. So
Nice.
we're trying to schedule it out, but that's,
Have you played with Huey before?
Yeah, we played at the qualifier in Vegas.
Nice.
Yeah.
So nationals, tell us about that. I don't know anything about this, so.
So this one actually will be my first time going, but my friend Lauren, she was like really into it last year, and like I was just like her drilling buddy. Like she wanted to practice, and I was like, yeah, sure, you know, I get practice, and she's like, I want to work on this and that. So, but yeah, nationals is like, you know, there's like a few nationals, but like this is the one that everybody like references. It's like the USAP, they hold it, and it's like everybody that won like the qualifier, they get their chance to like play in it, and so they have like people from all over the country playing, and yeah, it's a crazy event.
So how do you, let's say someone wants to be a part of this, right? They want to join the nationals.
Yeah.
How would you go about that? Like, how would you start?
So they have like a tour of like qualifying events throughout the country, and then
And that's hosted by that USAP.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they like post it out there, and it's from like January to like now August or September is like the last event, and so like there's 1 or 2 a month, and you just play in it, and then you have a chance to get in. So like if you win, like you're for sure getting a golden ticket. You don't have to worry about whether or not you can register. So if you do a silver or bronze, you get the second priority. So then you'll probably most likely get in, and then everybody else, they go off lottery. So like they, which I don't know how it is lottery, but it seems like if you played in an event, like you'll get in it. Because I know last year they just kind of let anybody who played in an event just join. So I'm like, is this really a prestigious event? Or,
what's the format of nationals?
I think it's gonna stay consistent with the qualifier. So it's like a round robin, and then it goes to like playoff and medal matches.
And how big's the field for round robin?
So round robin, they'll probably put it into pools. So for me, it'd be like the 30 to 40 bracket in terms of age, and like 4.0, and then there might be like 2 pools or 4 pools, or depending on how many people.
Yeah.
So they kind of like do that. So it's not like you're playing 16 teams at a time. You're just gonna play your pool, and then everybody kind of just advances to the playoffs and then to the medal. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And this is your first time doing this?
Yeah. So it's gonna be like crazy because I know there's always talks of like sandbagging at like this level.
At that level, yeah. I mean, it kind of happens already.
Yeah.
Like in local tournaments.
What does that mean, sandbagging?
Like if you're a 4 or 5 and you join like a 3-5 tournament.
Yeah.
Especially for the money ball ones, when there's money involved, it's kind of happening already. In fact, I saw in one of the recent tournaments I watched, it was a 3-0 tournament, and I saw the dupers of the people that won. One person was like a 2-5 or like 2-6 or something. The other one was like a 5-0.
Do they not like validate the ratings before you join a tournament?
So they usually follow this USTPR, one of those, I forgot what it's called, but it's like that a different rating. So they're not all going off of dupers.
Okay.
So like some tournaments are doing that. So like if there's like a duper hosted tournament, like it because duper's like its own company, so they host their own tournaments. They'll go off of their rating, and then USAP does like USTPR, or whatever it is. But and so it's a little less. It's different. So
do you have to be rated with that, the US?
Yeah, so you have to have that rating pretty much, and that like has a half-life too, so it'll go down. But it's kind of inaccurate because it doesn't account for like any feature things, or like you're like most up to date. It seems like so. People kind of just stay where they were. I don't know. So like if you want a 3-5, then it's like, okay, you play a 3-5 still.
Yeah.
Well, I should be like going out maybe. But I don't know.
Interesting. Well, hopefully it's not, it's not too much sandbagging going on. It's hard. It's always hard, right? It's hard. Like, how do you police that? You know what I mean? It's kind of like tough.
Yeah.
But
I've been trying to think of that like solution. Like,
yeah,
they gotta have some sort of like cross like reference where it's like, all right, here's like duper, and then this rating kind of like, can we compare and like get an average or better insight to like what this player is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure as the game progresses and evolves, there'll be some kind of, you know,
Yeah.
nationally or even globally rated system type thing.
Because this is still like, is it like considered amateur still, or is it semi-pro or something like that? Or is it like at a pro level, these nationals?
Yeah, Kenny's pro. You didn't know that?
What's up?
He's pro.
No.
No,
I mean, I believe it.
No, so like anybody that's like playing like 5-0, 4-0, those are like all amateurs.
Okay.
And then even they have like the open brackets, those are still kind of considered amateur. So you have to go for like the qualifiers. That's like going to the pro bracket. Yeah.
Cool. Well, good luck on your tournaments.
Thanks.
Good luck on yours on Saturday.
For sure.
When's your next one?
I think it's with David. We're gonna be playing the Moneyball tournament.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Against him?
No, not against
like-
him. We'll play
Wanna be able to
3-5.
play-
But
Get us started.
besides that, probably be with Jocelyn. Maybe mixed doubles.
Okay.
My first mixed doubles
There
tournament.
you go.
There you go.
Yeah, so
That should be fun.
I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys hopping on. Kenny, if you had one thing to say to our audience, someone that's struggling with pickleball, whether they're learning and they're just not figuring it out, or someone that's brand new to the game, what advice would you give our audience?
Just take it easy, you know. Just focus on hitting the ball, you know. That's what I tell like people like coaching. I was like, all right, just focus on hitting this ball. Pick a target, hit that target, and that's it.
You heard it from himself. Kenny the man, hit the target. Peace out, y'all. Dink or swim. Thank you.
Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to stay tuned for the upcoming heat on the way. This is JT,
This is Cesar.
Yatish.
This is Kenny.
and we out.
Later.
Love y'all. Stay blessed.
Yeah, yo, Ma, get to the bed.
Everything changed with Spanish attack.
Shorty got me on a stop, drop, roll it up. Fire, I just gotta press my luck. I just really wanna get you up. Get your best life, baby, I could really tear it up, up. Hold it down, hold up, baby, won't you turn around? Shorty really gotta slow it down. Shots fire in my eyes, we could go another round. Fire all up in the west side. Open up, she bout to spread wide. I just really get possessed by shorty by my best side. I just really gotta move into the backseat. Light it up, she know I pack it. She be walking so flashy. Shorty burning if you ask me. Just roll, roll, roll,